Now let's get started.
If you ever played through Super Empire Strikes Back or Super Return of the Jedi, this game feels pretty similar to that. And what I enjoy about this game a lot is that it takes you through each movie in the original trilogy, and I really enjoy that aspect of this game. Now, Uncle Owen's trying to convince me to, just hang around, and I have to say, Uncle Owen might be one of the worst characters in the Star Wars universe. He kind of just uses up Luke to his own benefit, and doesn't really let Luke do anything he wants to. And I've always kind of hated that guy. Anyway, R2-D2 has escaped, and as you know, if you've seen the movies, he's looking for old Ben Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I got these Tusken Raiders coming after me, and they're kind of just coming after me one after another. But anyway, here I am at the first boss, and he's just a normal Tusken Raider. Doesn't really do much. He just sits up there and stands there basically, and you just have to shoot him in the legs to kill him, or anywhere in particular. So I finally found R2-D2, and now I'm talking to Ben Kenobi, and R2 delivered the message from Princess Leia, and now old Ben Kenobi's trying to convince me to become a Jedi like my father. But having returned back home, stormtroopers have completely destroyed my home and killed my aunt and uncle. Now there's nothing left on Tatooine to keep me here, so I might as well become a Jedi like my father. Now I have the ability to rush forward with the Force, and I'm supposed to meet Obi-Wan at the cantina to look for a pilot, and as you probably already know, it's Han Solo, and of course Chewbacca's with him. This level is one of my least favorite levels in the game, and that's due to needing a key card to open a lot of these different doors, and also because R2 needs to be with you at all times. It's almost like a escort mission. Those are never that great. Not to mention there's a lot of backtracking. Overall, it's just one of my least favorite levels. Now here I am meeting up with Obi-Wan at the cantina, about to go talk to Han Solo. But he certainly doesn't come cheap, so I'm going to have to sell my land speeder just to get enough money to pay this guy. So heading back to the garage to sell my land speeder right now. And it's just more of the same, killing enemies and getting key cards and things like that. Thankfully I don't have R2 with me anymore, so I don't have to worry about escorting him around the town. After collecting the money from my land speeder, now I'm heading back to the Millennium Falcon. I just got to deal with a few more enemies that are in the way. These guys can be really annoying at times. They're kind of relentless. And there's Chewbacca and Han Solo, who's following close behind is none other than the bounty hunter, Boba Fett. Now we've reached the Alderaan coordinates, but of course Alderaan is no longer there, having been destroyed by the Death Star, and we were trapped. The tractor beam from the Death Star was pulling us into a hangar full of stormtroopers. Now I have this new ability that allows me to roll under objects and things like that. In this first segment, I'm looking for R2-D2 and trying to get him to deactivate the tractor beam so we can get off this Death Star. And this new enemy here is a sentry gun, and it kind of shoots at you from the top, and you gotta deactivate it every so often by shooting it. I don't know if you can destroy it completely. I don't think you can. You just knock it out momentarily. They're shooting you high and they're shooting you low. It's just very annoying at times. Who would put a key card in here anyway? I don't know why there's a key card hidden in this random box, but nonetheless it's in there. And got R2 here. He can open up a way to get over this bottomless pit, but I need a key card, so let me backtrack a little bit to even open that access gate and take out a number of enemies, and one of them's holding a key card, and there's my way to get across. There we go. I finally run into Princess Leia, and I'm telling her I'm Luke Skywalker and that Obi-Wan is with me. Now there's a button up here that I'm supposed to press, and it's only by seeing it beforehand are you able to even know any general idea of where this button is located to shoot it. You're kind of just shooting in the dark, so to speak, but if you can hit it, you can open up the runway underneath your feet so you can pass this bottomless pit. A little bit more of an escort style mission towards the end here. You have to protect Princess Leia, and thankfully she has a weapon of her own and she can take out quite a few enemies herself. She has a health bar up there at the top right, and you can't let that drop completely, but she does a pretty good job of holding up on her own. When we got back to the Millennium Falcon, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader were dueling. Obi-Wan saw me and something strange happened. He raised his lightsaber, and as Vader struck him, he vanished. He simply disappeared. Obi-Wan had given me my first real Jedi lesson. The Force is stronger than death, and there are alternatives to fighting. Now here I am at the final stage of A New Hope, just trying to take out 30 of these twin ion engines, or TIE fighters for short, and they can be a real nuisance at times because they deal a lot of damage if they run into you or you run into them, so you want to kind of keep your distance, but overall they're not too difficult. And now Red Leader says that he missed the exhaust port. And now Luke's getting ready for his attack run, and here is the infamous Death Star trench scene from A New Hope. This part can be a little tricky at times as well. Objects are in your way, and you got TIE fighters coming up behind you as well, trying to annihilate you. It's just a real pain, but here's Darth Vader right behind me, and I trying to get to the exhaust port in time before he shoots me down, basically, because you can't really defend yourself by shooting behind you or anything like that, so you're just basically waiting to get into range of the exhaust port and fire that proton torpedo. And almost there, but oh, there's the Millennium Falcon just in time. Thanks so much, Han Solo and Chewbacca. Thanks so much, guys. Finally destroyed that sucker. Finally, the Death Star was destroyed, and you move right along into The Empire Strikes Back, which is a fantastic movie as well. I've always enjoyed this movie, and things start to get a little bit more fun in this game as well. I had to use the Force to get my lightsaber back, and now I'm trying to just escape. A lot of bottomless pits around here, but I'm trying to escape from this ice cavern. Got a lot of these enemies around here trying to prevent you from escaping the cavern. For whatever reason, they want you to stay. I only remember one of these monsters in the movie, but you know how video games are, and these giant snowballs falling everywhere. Everything's out to kill you in this ice cavern for no apparent reason, really. I don't know why they're trying to kill Luke so much, but they obviously don't like him, or they don't want him to leave. The lightsaber is really quite powerful, and I really enjoy using it. It really makes short work of a lot of these enemies, and it's definitely a much needed upgrade over the blaster, and I like that about this game. It makes you feel like you're progressing with Luke as he actually progressed. In the movies, he got stronger in each movie, and that's how I feel about this game. You get stronger and stronger as you move along, gaining new abilities and whatnot, and that's always a good thing in a video game, the power of progression. I finally made it out of the ice cave, and here I'm talking to Obi-Wan, and he's telling me I need to go to the Dagobah system, and Luke's never even heard of it, and he wants me to train with Yoda. And quite interesting, he says that Yoda was the master that instructed him. I guess he forgot about old Qui-Gon Jinn. Anyway, now I have the ability to reflect blaster shots, and a good thing about this game is you can still use your blaster by pressing the select button, and I really enjoy that about this game. The blaster is still relevant even into the later levels. Just take out that guy with the blaster. And that's what I did right there, just blew up one of these AT-ATs. And you gotta be careful about these legs, and I wanted to get this health upgrade right there, but it's a real tricky one to get. I made it look easier than it actually is. Slide underneath them if you possibly can. And trying to get back to my X-Wing so I can leave this planet and head to Dagobah to train with Master Yoda. And I finally made it back to my X-Wing, and following close behind is none other than Darth Vader, and I made it out just in time. This is where the game gets a lot more fun, in my opinion, because now I'm able to double jump, and that's always a good thing in any side-scrolling or platforming game, is the ability to double jump. You got this murky water here, and it kind of slows you down, kind of feels like you're walking through quicksand. But here's Master Yoda. He wants to know why I want to become a Jedi. Yoda's telling Luke that he has to be very patient and committed to these things of the Force. Now I'm able to perform a Force push, which is very good with dealing with a number of different enemies in this game. You can also move objects around, like I can push this boulder right here. That's a very useful ability in my opinion. These tree logs that are on these vines, and sometimes you'll have to move them. In order to reach them, you have to start swinging them back and forth with your Force abilities. Here's there's a tree stump that I'll have to cut first with my lightsaber and then use the Force to move it out of the way, like so. And Luke has questions of his own about the Force and if the dark side is stronger and things of that nature. Doing a little more training here on Dagobah, Force pushing boulders and things like that. Here I am swinging on this vine and gotta get the timing just right. And Luke is telling Yoda that something is not right here. He can feel the dark side close by. Facing off against Darth Vader on Dagobah. Or is it really Darth Vader, or is it just a vision of things to come? Or is it really just Luke's own fear? Hard to say. But Luke gets another vision of things to come, and he's seeing his dear friends in a great deal of pain and suffering, and he simply cannot allow that to happen. Against Yoda's judgment and advice, Luke decides to go anyway. Of course, Yoda was right. I should have completed my training, but I couldn't stay put while my friends were in danger. I had to go to Bespin's Cloud City. Now here I am on Bespin's Cloud City, and I immediately get a new ability, and it's to slow down time. So basically enemies remain in slow motion while I can move at normal speeds, and that's a really great ability to have. My objective is to locate Han and Leia. Having this ability to slow all the enemies down really comes in handy. You can really get a better control of the situation when you slow things down. Almost looks like the shields from Star Wars Episode 1 when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are fighting Darth Maul. Working my way up, trying to get closer to Han and Leia, find out where they're being held. And it looks like I've stumbled into some kind of a trap. The Force is with you, young Skywalker, he says, but you are not a Jedi yet. What a powerful line that is. And here is my first duel with Darth Vader, and he's quite strong, as you can imagine. He'll try to knock you back into that hole and pull you in occasionally as well, and you have to work your way out of this carbonite freezing. He's very strong, so you have to be on your toes at all times, and I like to try to jump over him if I possibly can and hit him in the back. That seems to be the most effective. Now he's back for more, and he's tossing all these objects at me. I'm just trying to work my way closer to him so I can attack him, but it knocks me straight out of the window. I'm just trying to stand my ground here, but he keeps working me back further and further. Looks like he's got me on my toes here. There goes my hand, and here's the quite famous line that tells Luke that he is his father. Vader was Anakin Skywalker, my father. Why hadn't Obi-Wan told me? Yoda was right. I wasn't ready. I was rescued by Leia, Chewie, and their new friend, Lando. Han had been encased in carbonite and taken to Jabba the Hutt. I had to rescue Han. And that's the end of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I really enjoyed playing this episode, and now we're moving straight on into Return of the Jedi. Moving along now into Return of the Jedi. And this is another great movie. One of my favorite Star Wars movies. Han was being held in Jabba's palace. Leia and the droids had made an attempt to rescue him, but had been captured themselves. As you can see now, I have the green lightsaber, and that's pretty sweet in my opinion. Always a great scene when Luke busts out that green lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. But here I had these Gamorrean guards coming after me, one after another, throwing these axes at me, but I also have this new ability which allows me to heal myself with the Force, and that's always a great thing to have. I kind of like to heal up after every encounter if I possibly can. Here's the part where I'm trapped with the Rancor monster, and this can be a little bit of a tricky situation. You can't really damage him with your blaster. You have to use the Force to push these boulders back at him, and then hopefully one of them will hit the switch and then knock the gate down upon him, just like in the movie. Now I'm moving right along here trying to just escape this terrible situation that I've gotten myself in with Jabba and the rest of the enemies here. Still got more Gamorrean guards coming after me, throwing axes and whatnot. Kind of just trying to hop from each of these ships to another. Here's Boba Fett. He's come out and he's shooting his blaster at me and things like that. He can be a little bit tricky at times. You just have to make sure that you get up in the air high enough to hit his body up there, because he pretty much flies the entire fight. Kind of just chip away at his health bar until you finally take him down. I'm gonna just destroy this gun right here and destroy the main ship, and we should be on our way and good to go, having rescued Han. We were together again, and a new mission awaited us. Now here I am on these speeder bikes, and you probably remember this scene from the movie. Got all these stormtroopers coming after me as well on their own speeder bikes. And this can be a tricky situation because you have all these obstacles in your way and you're moving at a pretty steady speed. And if you're not careful, you'll run into these objects in the road and then have to start back at a previous checkpoint. And that can be a little bit annoying at times, but it's not too difficult overall. Ramming these guys into the wall and taking them out like so is a pretty fun section of the game. Luke, the force is your ally, its power is greater than all your foes. And now I had this new ability where I can hold the B button and then release it to unleash this massive attack that just destroys pretty much every enemy in your way. That's a very handy force ability to have, especially when you're being surrounded by all kinds of enemies at once. It takes your force meter down quite a bit, but I think it's worth it, especially in some of those trickier situations. And you'll see here just how powerful that move is. It just completely wipes out the entire enemy force. Stormtroopers up in these trees shooting down at you, so you got to be aware of that. And I got these almost like wasps. They'll come after you and try to sting you as well, and you got to take care of them. They sometimes can be a little annoying because you can't really hit them at times because they fly up over your head. You kind of have to get the right jump on them. And more of them right here. Just make it onto this swinging log. Jump up here. Take out these guys right here. Climbing our way up here on these vines. I'm going to slow down time here and kind of take them out this way. I haven't used that ability all too much, but it's definitely a great one to have. When I reached the Ewok village, I finally had a chance to explain to Leia, Vader was my father, our father. Vader was here on Endor because of me. I had to face my father and try to save him. So now I'm supposed to meet Darth Vader at the Imperial landing, force push this log here and get up here with all these other stormtroopers, and everything's just coming after you at this point in the game. They're just throwing everything they got at you to try to stop you. You have a lot of force abilities on your side, so you should be more than okay. Push this boulder and just see it rolling over all these stormtroopers. It's a really effective way. Wish there were more boulders in this game. Anyway, here's Darth Vader. So you have accepted the truth. I've accepted the truth that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father. That name no longer has any meaning for me. Approaching the Emperor. What a great scene this is. Welcome, young Skywalker. I have been expecting you. From here you will witness the final destruction of the Alliance. Obi-Wan has taught you well, Darth Vader says. But of course Luke does not want to fight his father, and how can you blame him really? And now Darth Vader's throwing his lightsaber at me and taking him down pretty quickly here. Is trying to use Luke's emotion against him, and Luke gives in to his hate when Vader brings up Leia. And he's force pushing me back, and I just got him in this corner, and I'm just going to let him have everything I got. Just taking his health bar down very rapidly here, and this is a good way to take him down, kind of lock him into this corner, almost like a fighting game style. Just letting Vader have everything I got, unleashing the arsenal on him. And there he goes down. You failed, Your Highness. Vader, my father, couldn't just stand by and watch me die. He feared the Emperor, but his love for me was stronger. And during his injuries, he grabbed the Emperor and threw him into the abyss. The Emperor was dead, and my father redeemed. I escaped the Death Star and brought what remained of my father back with me to give him a true Jedi funeral. The galaxy was free. This is a really great way to go out. It's got these fireworks and the celebration going on. It's a really great way to end this game. And like I said, I really enjoyed playing this game. It's really great to travel with Luke through these experiences of the original Star Wars trilogy of movies. And if you're a Star Wars fan and you love Luke Skywalker, I think you should definitely check this game out. It's a great game on the GBA here, and if you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Take care, guys.